Everybody wants to sound intelligent, right? In this video, I'm going to talk about my list of 365 words to make you sound smarter. First off, why should you take my advice? Well, I'm a tenured university professor. I teach language here in Japan, where I've lived for 20 years. And my PhD was a corpus linguistics study which identified collocational exemplars of lemmatized conchgrams. You're probably wondering what the hell that means. It's not really important actually, but what is important is that my PhD research was a corpus linguistics study, and analyzing corpus data is the best way to come up with lists, such as the list that I'm going to talk about in this video. So before I get to the list, I'd like to explain a term that I invented called high-value alternatives, or HVAs. These are uncommon words that have a more common counterpart. So for example, the word serendipitous has a really similar meaning to the word lucky, but if you use the word serendipitous, it does make you sound more educated. And while there are tons of advanced vocabulary lists out there with difficult sounding vocabulary, what you really want to learn are words that you can use on a daily basis, and that's what HVAs are. They are high value alternatives to more common words that you use every day. Okay, so the HVA project was a team of 8 professors I led, and we looked through 17,000 words to find such HVAs. Yeah, 17,000. It took forever, but a manual examination of words in this way is really the only way to end up with a good quality list. So once we identified them, we paired each HVA with a more common word, and then we wrote an easy to understand example sentence for each of them. We ended up with a list of 3,550 words. About 1,800 of these are good for students that English is not their native language. About 1,400 are words that are good if you haven't had a chance to have a higher education. And about 360 of them are words that even if you had a higher education, you might not know the meaning of them. You might have heard them before or are not sure about the meaning, or you might not know the meaning at all. You can read more about that study on its website and in my paper called The High Value Alternative, a new vocabulary concept to help combat linguistic prejudice. That can be downloaded on the site for the project. You can also download the full 3,550 words for free from the site as well. Please notice though that this site is different from the site for the 365 words to make you sound smarter. This site is much more technical, so I wanted to have it separate. So after completing that project, I re-examined the last 2 sets of words to truly find words that, when used, really make you sound intelligent. I decided on choosing 365 words, since learning 1 new word per day for a whole year is just a nice goal to have. And here's the website where you can download them for free. So who else are these lists for? Well, usage of these words can help people avoid prejudicial pitfalls of having limited vocabulary knowledge. So for example, if you come from a poor background, if you didn't have many educational opportunities, then this list could help you at job interviews, could help you in court, when dealing with the police, and just in life in general. It's kind of a shortcut to sounding as if you received a higher education. Thus, it might be a valuable tool for prison education programs, impoverished school districts, or just for individuals who have had limited educational opportunities in general. If you are a non-native speaker, though, I do recommend the HVA Project's sites list, though, because there's a specific list there for the non-native speakers. Okay, so now I'd like to read a passage to you that I wrote. In it, I replaced some particular words with HVAs, and I'm going to read both at the same time, and you can see the huge difference in how you sound if you use such vocabulary. Okay. Reducing energy usage is at the center of global warming. Reducing energy usage is at the nexus of global warming. For example, the groundbreaking discovery, for example, the seminal discovery of how to make the blue LED led to the ability to make LED bulbs that can produce white light. Compared to conventional bulbs, this saves a tremendous amount of energy, and thus, the Nobel Prize was awarded to the inventors. The Nobel Prize was bestowed upon the inventors. Some influential scientists, some formative scientists, such as Stephen Hawking, claimed that, purported that, humans are at risk of global catastrophe within the next 100 years. Certainly no one wants our lifetimes to be the era in which Certainly no one wants our lifetimes to be the epoch in which we cross the line that we can never recover from. While many issues regarding global warming still lead to disagreement, still lead to discord, most agree that weather has clearly changed. Most agree that weather has emphatically changed over the last few decades. Governments across the world are all making efforts to address the issue, but the effect of their efforts are weak at best. The effect of their efforts are tenuous at best. Corporations that continue to contribute to the problem often dodge the issue as well, often eschew the issue as well, or may even try to mislead the public, or may even try to delude the public in regard to their contribution to the problem. Thus, each person needs to analyze their own activities, each person needs to assay their own activities, and think about how they can change how they live. There is a long list of things, there's a litany of things we can all do on a daily basis. While it can be difficult to get people to change how they live, stubborn resistance, dogmatic resistance to change is dangerous at this point. Simple actions such as separating garbage for recycling may seem bothersome, may seem onerous, but even small acts, even diminutive acts, can really add up if everyone does them on a daily basis. Now, the cost of changing one's household to solar panels may be expensive, may be exorbitant, but so were the first cell phones, and now everyone has one, so tech should play a role in a solution as well. If people do not take action on their own, we may end up with a controlling government. We may end up with a hegemonic government, forcing things on people. Any citizen would prefer a government that suggests ideas, that proffers ideas, instead of having things forced on them. No one wants a dark future. No one wants a macabre future where the government controls everything like the book 1984. Consumerism is also an issue. It's a huge unstoppable machine. It's a juggernaut that is seemingly, that is ostensibly, impossible to control. Giving in is difficult to avoid. Acquiescence is difficult to avoid when we want nice things, especially when that behavior is firmly positioned in our routine money spending, especially when that behavior is ensconced in our routine money spending. Buying something can make us feel better, especially when our lives feel boring, especially when our lives feel staid. People can also experience a release when buying something. People can also experience catharsis when buying something they really want, especially if they are under some kind of stress. However, careless spending, perfunctory spending, can also lead to other issues, in addition to its effect on global warming. So perhaps we need to think more about things like that, and if everyone made an effort, perhaps we can get global warming under control. Okay, so that's it. I hope you found the video interesting, and I hope that my resources are useful for you.